Okay, this is Wake Up and Darth Bishop from www.talkaboutworld.net. We're here to talk to you about a little flick that we saw briefly, some sneak footage yesterday, and that footage being Haywire, Steven Soderbergh's next film. The reason I want to get into Haywire first before we do any of the others is because it's interesting when you see a trailer, and the trailer initially looks bad, and then you compare it to one of the fight scenes that you see, and the fight scene is actually pretty damn brutal.
Yeah.
And they did show brief moments of the fight scene in the trailer, but it didn't do it justice.
Yeah, I actually looked over at Wake Up, and I said to him, I think we're going a little ahead. Steven Soderbergh, director of Traffic, director of Sex Lies and Videotape, Solaris remake. Guy's a really good director. Doesn't make that many films. When he does, you know you're going to get something pretty deep. This is his first venture into a live action full on action film. This is his first time ever, and so he got this new MMA star, this female. I can't think of her name right now. I wish I could get her name. We're not that ready for that. But anyway, she came on, very beautiful woman. I mean, amazing, and just the right amount of muscles and femininity still. And then, of course, our favorite Channing Tatum from G.I. Joe came out on the panel. And what happened was, it didn't look good from the panel.
Yeah.
We saw, this is Channing Tatum. He comes out and we're like, they got Channing Tatum. They got the guy that destroyed G.I. Joe.
There's a bunch of nobodies, basically, for me.
Yeah, a bunch of nobodies.
Steven Soderbergh, okay, the only thing I really remember you from is that you robbed Ridley Scott from his Oscar from Best Director over Gladiator, so...
Yeah, for Traffic.
Okay, I'm not happy with you already, so...
So, alright, so they show a trailer first. Just a trailer. And I thought it was okay, but I looked over to Wake Up and he was just like, nah. That didn't look good to me at all. And I was like, really? Yeah, okay. I thought it was not bad. I saw something in there that was actually quite good. I admit, but the trailer was not that good. But I did see something in there, right?
It just looked like a glorified Salt, to be honest. Had some skinny chick. Before I realised she was actually a fighter and doing it herself, I was sure this was some stunt double taking her place or doing some tricky camera angles. I was like, no, this isn't that woman taking a beating.
Yeah. So they show the footage. An actual scene that sets up the film, and they show the scenes with the guy who plays Magneto from X-Men.
Michael Fassbender.
Yep.
Fassbender.
Yep. He's in the scene, and he is dropping. He's actually just come from a dinner, looks like, with the girl, and
they're all in the suits and cocktail dresses.
Ewan McGregor is playing the spy agency top-notch guy, the boss, and he puts in a call to that guy and says, "Take this girl out." And so they get into the hotel, and the scene is so sensual. Like when they're getting to the room, he's taking his sweet time getting the key card to open the door, and she's looking at him like in love.
It's not sensual. It's sensual up until they open the door.
Yeah,
put it that way. That makes it sound.
I know, but I'm saying everything before opening the door was very sensual.
Like walking through the hall.
It was just like, oh, we're having a great night. It was done awesome. By the time this guy opens the door and he, as a gentleman, lets the girl go first into the room, and actually, Ray Perfect described that. He wasn't there, but when we were trying to describe it, he thought of a film that literally, just like that, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when Leatherface hits that guy in the head with the mallet, and if you guys seen that film, it goes, shit, a thump. That's how that played out. It was like, whoa, the way he hits her,
man.
And that fight is like
she goes down like potatoes as well. She falls down. She doesn't stand up and take it. She goes down.
Yeah.
The fight's just brutal. It's realistic, and what Steven Soderbergh said, which made it quite interesting, is the fact that when you get two guys or a guy and a girl fighting, they don't go for a long time. They eventually get tired, and someone gets the drop on them. So that's why the fights in this, he makes them quick. He makes them at least about 5 minutes long, if that, and they're just brutal. And you got different types of fighting styles going on. Like in the hotel, it's just destructive. It's just down and dirty because she ain't got no control over the environment. She's getting her ass kicked because it was very unexpected. Whereas another fight you mentioned later on with Ewan McGregor was in the sand, where it's a lot more. She has to change her style because she can't move as fast, and neither of them can move as fast on the sand and stuff.
Yeah,
And it was interestingly.
It was interesting how he thinks about
promising.
action. He just says, you know, a lot of the fight scenes, like he says, are going to be short because he really believes that if you got two people that know how to fight with finishing moves, the fight's not going to last too long, you know, which I thought was pretty, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's all about who makes the first mistake and gets to drop on the other guy, and that's how he, after that footage, man, we were in. I'm like, wow, I mean, the blows, the fights were not so up close, it was out. And you felt
you could see them fighting. It's what we've been after for a while, to see no quick cuts. But I think the problem with this is going to be, in all honesty, it's going to be the fight scenes are going to be good, and whether the rest can hold up to par, whether it's going to be able to contend with the fight scenes that we've seen in Christ, whether it's going to be like, consider it like a blood sport, right? I mean, the female actress, she's an MMA fighter. She's not really an actress. She's going to be like the female equivalent of something like a Van Damme. It's going to be like basically, yeah, I'd feel comfortable comparing the fights to like Bloodsport. It's going to be like that. There's no going to be no stand-up performances apart from Michael Douglas, and that's really about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to get into there.
Really
you can say definitely, like I said, what we can say about it, just to cap it up quickly, is that at the beginning it didn't look too good, and then with the footage that we saw, it was like, whoa, okay, this is a lot better. Almost like, you know, it's the same thing we said about Spider-Man. For me, the trailer, I mean, speaking just for myself, not for you, the trailer wasn't good for me. But the footage, the 8 minutes of footage, sold me. So the same thing with this trailer. It wasn't that good. I mean, I did like it somewhat, but the footage sold me. I mean, that was bang. I mean, matter of fact, they should just release the footage and just go on that. Matter of fact, they should start doing footage now. They should just release a key scene in the film. Because I think trailers are just like an art. It's almost a lost art. People just don't know how to cut trailers anymore. It's just like, sucks.
Anyway, the site, www.talkbabble.net, forum for the real fan, Bayout, Spielberg in.
Alright, guys.